Hello everybody, this is Fernando for the latest Mysteries and Oddities news video. Well, finally, there's some good news related to that new series with Megan Fox that's going to come on the Travel Channel soon. So there's been now an updated set of information regarding its release date, along with the new title that the series will have, and then finally a good preview into some of the episodes already gearing up to show soon. So those of you that have seen my other past videos on Megan Fox's new series, especially considering the views that they have, it seems like this is a popular topic. So I'm glad to see that there's going to be a good amount of people that will share and see this new show once it comes out. And I'm here to present all the new info for it too, because I found a link from Entertainment Weekly that highlights all this new information. So I'm going to share that with you here, and then that way we can both, hopefully together when it premieres, we'll be able to see it, and then I'll definitely do a reaction, a summary, like a review video of it afterward. But yes, indeed, let's go ahead and let's start with this new information. So it has to do with this. First off, it no longer has its old name. When it was something that I talked about back earlier this year, it was going to be known as Mysteries and Myths. Well, it looks like that's been changed. It's now called Legends of the Lost with Megan Fox. And so I got to say that I love the newer title because it sounds much more intriguing. There's much more of a hook associated with it than the older title. I didn't really have much problem with the old title, but this one, Legends of the Lost, definitely makes it seem like it's like an Indiana Jones type adventure where you get to go to these far off lands and you get to go, of course, with the beautiful Megan Fox. And the article too that I found here with Entertainment Weekly, it highlights why she wanted to do this. Apparently, ever since the Transformer films, whenever she was able to travel all across certain parts of the world, especially some very restrictive parts of the world, and see those places up front, that basically created a seed within her to make sure that she could try to look at this info later on. Also, it highlights the article does something that I mentioned in the past too. Her favorite show ever. This is why she's so awesome. Not only is she beautiful, but she also has a huge love for anything involving aliens and UFOs. She said her favorite show is Ancient Aliens. It's something that she said she caught up in her early 20s, and ever since then, she's just been a huge fan of that show. So again, that reiterated that there too. But the other bit of updated info, finalized info, and you're seeing some of the pictures, in fact, from the show itself, is that it's 4 episodes, and these 4 episodes presumably are already going to be shown. So it all depends, I guess, on ratings. Sometimes that happens. If there's not enough ratings from the first 2 episodes or so, then the other ones are not even shown afterward. Not that I think that's going to happen here, considering the draw that she has, but that's at least she has at least 4 hour-long episodes already listed. And that this is the big news as far as the release date. It's coming up very soon. It'll be December 4th. So you're looking at next week specifically for this to start. I'm going to have to figure out the logistics of how I can see the show. I'm probably going to end up watching it on my phone because I do have the Spectrum app, and that way I can try to see it. If it's not live, try to see it somewhere afterward in terms of like a on-demand type stuff. But either way, though, that's when it's going to debut, airing December 4th. I don't have the exact time yet, otherwise I would gladly share it here. But if it does, I'll post it on my community tab, and then I'll also post it on my Facebook channel as well. And then lastly, the information goes into further detail as far as what the episodes contain. So it pretty much goes through the full gamut when it comes to visiting far off locations and making sure that there's some good history associated there. Like apparently one of the topics involves Vikings and their rise to power, but more specifically female warriors involving that time period back then. Also, there's going to be a prehistoric search in terms of finding out what was, in this case, some kind of larger Homo sapiens, like in this case, the gigantic ones. And one of my past videos, I even talked about that too, as well. And so there's a search to find proof associated with those larger humans that lived apparently 13,000 years ago. Another episode is going to focus on the Trojan War and to try to determine if this truly happened. And then probably the flagship episode is probably going to be the one that comes the first week, because normally when there's a new series, the best episode, like the one that'll hook the most people, tends to be the first one. And so this one happens to be where she visits Stonehenge, the infamous Stonehenge. Some of you may have even gone out there as well yourselves and seen it in person. I have not, so it's probably something that is going to be on a bucket list, but way out there. Either way, though, she in turn visits it, and then she'll be able to seek out its reported supernatural powers, all these mystical powers that this location has, and the draw that it has associated with it. So that's another thing that she'll have in an episode 2. I don't know though if these episodes are all just going to be self-contained, meaning they'll just focus on one topic and then that's it, and then another topic in another episode, or if she's going to split it in half. Presumably it's going to be an hour-long episode, because normally these type of shows, the ones that involve the Travel Channel, if we associate it with like the Ghost Adventures ones where they also travel to all these locations, they take up an hour. So I'm guessing that that's how it's going to happen here. Even though there's 4 hour-long episodes, who knows? It may just be clipped to 30 minutes each, but I don't think that's going to be the case. So I just don't know the time period on when that'll happen. But yes, indeed, that's some good bit of info related to her new show. So we have the updated title, which is Legends of the Lost, and then we have a description of each episode as well. And then as far as the debut date, again, it's going to be December 4th, and I'll send a reminder to everyone out there too, because absolutely we have to help support this show. Not only am I a huge fan of Megan Fox, she's my first celebrity crush from the first Transformers film, but I'm also a huge fan of what she loves as well. She loves cryptids, she loves monsters, she loves the aliens, UFOs world, and now in this case, she's going more towards like the archaeological sense, trying to find all these myths and mysteries, like it was previously known, that are tied to them. So very, very fascinating stuff. We have to make sure that she is supported on this too. And then one other bit of trivia that's from the article, I'll include a link for it too, by the way, if you wanted to later on take a look for yourself and see all this information. It sounded like, and this is something that I can totally see it happening, she had a tougher time getting this done at the beginning, like in terms of the new show, because obviously like when you're an actor or an actress, the most thing you're known for is just reading off of a script. There's not really that much that people associate with actors and actresses afterward. So here you have all of a sudden one of the most beautiful women in the world, somebody that's known presumably for those, or mainly for those giant action films that are more popcorn stuff, you know, the dumb stuff that is just fun, not really the more serious kind of stuff. And here she is pitching, in this case, a TV show about going to some very mysterious places, well known, I guess, with either mythical powers, supernatural powers, or just cloaked in complete mystery. And she is going to be tied to it. So it seemed like she had a bit of a struggle at first, but eventually she found some producers that were able to say yes, especially on the Travel Channel side, and then get that geared up for her. So I'm glad she was able to basically stick with her guns and then find somebody that eventually say yes to it. She also explained neatly that there was a bit of a testing, I guess you could call it, between the topics to cover, because she wanted to go into further things that were even more, I guess, down there when it came to dealing with these mysterious places. But being TV and obviously having to have hooks, the producers instead wanted to focus more on having more well-known places as opposed to the lesser-known ones. When I was reading that, it sort of reminded me of my own YouTube channel here. Like all these cryptids, all these alien episodes, everything that I talk about, I try to focus more on the lesser known stuff, because that's what fascinates me. That's essentially what draws me, because I don't know about that stuff. So it's fun discovering it, and it's fun sharing it with everyone else here too. So it's amazing to read how she is very similar minded, that she wanted to have that kind of stuff too, these lesser known locations shown on the show, but because of it being TV and of course having to have ratings and having to have viewership and then in turn leading to more ad revenue, they have to make sure that they have something more well known. So that's why they have to go that route. So that was also a little bit of trivia that I found here too. But what do you guys think? Legends of the Lost with Megan Fox coming up soon. Are you guys going to watch it? I hope so. Please go ahead and do so. Give it a support. Watch all 4 episodes if you can, and then that way we can hopefully have another set of videos ordered from for her new series from the Travel Channel. That's how it works in the world of TV. If there's a good enough demand, then usually there'll be another season, this one a full season, something involving maybe 8, 10 episodes, something along those lines, and then that way we'll have a whole other year essentially of this new show with Megan Fox. So hopefully she'll get that support, and please watch the show if you have a chance. I'm getting nothing for this, by the way. This is just pure me being a fan of her and of her decision of doing this show. So absolutely sharing this information. I'm proud to do so to make sure that we can support her. So all right, everybody. Love to hear your comments on the new show. So, all right, everybody, take care.